we do Shang-Chi next? I think we can keep Shang-Chi.
I have Shang-Chi next, technically. I said Shang-Chi stays, but take out Trevor and update/deliver on the post-credit scene.
Okay, I don't think Trevor necessarily has to be cut for...
What did he add?
I'm just saying we're focusing more on like the flow of...
I didn't like Trevor, so I want to cut him.
Okay, maybe we can cut Trevor. I didn't like the giant CGI monster at the end, but I don't want to come up with a reason or
if we're rewriting, I'm going to say that I don't like Trevor.
Okay, we're cutting Trevor.
You need carbs!
May thy knife chip and shatter. There is beauty in imperfections.
You're great. I am.
And if you feel it, are you watching closely?
We are not going to re-record this episode.
No, we're not.
So last time, was it really? The last time was just you and I. Was Soul.
Yeah.
Which wasn't that long ago. It was right after my vacation.
Feels long ago.
The beginning of February. And then we had the Ninjas Are Butterflies episode, which didn't count, I don't think, because we were like co-hosting together, not really just you and I. Yeah, it feels like forever, but here we are.
We just had a moment there.
We had a moment. No, I was trying to figure out where to go.
Are we recording now?
Yeah, we're recording.
Oh, we are. Okay,
yeah,
that's exciting.
That is.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, hi. So there was also something, you brought up 3 off-topic topics.
Yes, I
Which
did.
we have to go fast because we can't just spend, so we could probably do episodes on Born Again in 3 chunk sections.
Yep.
3 section chunks? Either one. I've heard it both ways. So for off-topic topics, we can do that. But I'm not helping things by adding a 4th thing to talk about.
You have a 4th thing to talk about?
Is what have you been watching recently? Just to be like, give an update. Not necessarily a big movie. Just what have you casually been doing? Like my answer is always going to be Psych because that's Ellie and my continuous show that we watch like 2 episodes a week or something. Mm-hmm. So that's been fun. Hence the I've heard it both ways. Yeah. I was watching a little bit of House of David.
Okay. Is that one good?
It is, surprisingly. Not surprisingly. I don't know that I expected it to be bad, but it's far from pure flicks. Okay. It's, I would say, better than The Chosen because it doesn't try and be a family show.
Okay. Is it TVMA or TV-14?
It's not graphic, but there's a lot of graphic themes. Like there's a lot of swords to necks, the start of the movement, and then cut away to the character's reaction. Okay. So you get it. It's different than like what happened, spoilers, I believe, season 4, which is the last Chosen season to come out, which is when Rama died. Did you know that?
No, I have to catch up on the
Okay, me too. I haven't watched...
I've only seen like 2 seasons of The Chosen.
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Some people will be upset to know that, but season 5 is coming out, so you should probably get that done. Me too. I'm included in that. But anyways, it goes beyond just a family show, and I think that it's they're on a good track to make something fun. Like I mentioned in the Discord, they go the Nephilim route with Goliath, which I believe is true. That the Nephilim gene continued on after the flood, and that's what Goliath and his brothers were. I think that's very interesting. And something that my pastor brought up when he started watching it, he said that they do go more extra biblical. Like obviously, I mean, Chosen does that too. Yeah, Book of Enoch and others give context. We still admit that they're not canon to the Bible. Yeah, but they do give context. And I was listening to Blurry's episode with Wesley Huff a couple months ago. Okay, must have been. And he said that it'd be a mistake to ignore the Apocrypha and other extra biblical texts just because of the context. Now, of course, you want to reread them, and then Huff goes into like why we don't consider the Gospel of Thomas to be true is because Jesus is literally blaspheming and saying misogynistic things, and you can figure out if it's meant to be counter gospel or just context, like Enoch, other apocryphal books. And supposedly, the reason I bring this up is because David is made out to be the illegitimate child of his father,
Oh, really?
in the show, and is
Interesting.
it's a theme in the show and is not in the Bible. Mm-hmm. But it's not in the Bible.
Okay.
So it's like you might as well, if you're writing fiction,
Yeah.
go with the context you do have, which is extra biblical text. Mm-hmm. You're not really going against anything in the Bible.
Is that based on anything, though, with him being an illegitimate child?
I don't know exactly where that's from,
Okay.
but that is extra biblical text.
Okay.
Kind of.
They didn't just make that up.
No,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Is if they had made it up,
They're a bit more controversial.
yeah, but they're technically going off of a source, even if it's not biblical. Same as the Nephilim. I mean, I would argue that there's a lot more meaning behind the Nephilim and Goliath connection. But yeah, that's what I've been watching. And Born Again.
Oh,
We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
What have you been watching?
So I'm weird. Cobra Kai ended in February, and now I've been rewatching it to see how it just all flows together without having month breaks. Because the last season was breaking up into 3 parts, releasing like months apart from each other, which is annoying when they do that with just like one season. You have like season 6 part 1, season 6 part 2, season 6 part 3. Like, why can't they have their season just ready all at once?
Because then you get people like us complaining about how they're taking forever to release the episodes. And if they're working on them in chunks, then while the first chunk is releasing, they can still be working on the second and third.
Yeah.
I actually think that's probably the best option so that you can get the first chunk out as fast as possible and not have to wait until the entire show is done in production. Sorry.
So I've been working through that, just kind of seeing how it all flows together. I mean, that's how I watched the first like 5 seasons, but so I'm kind of watching all those again. But yeah, I mean, I really like the show.
Yeah.
It gets cheesy. I mean, being a sequel series to an 80s movie series, it kind of retains the same level of cheese sometimes you get from an 80s film.
Sure.
Some of it can be a bit cringe as well with the high school drama. I think that's basically just because it is high school drama, and I don't think there's a non-cringy way to write high school drama.
Yeah.
So, but I think there's some great themes in there too about like redemption and even like battling your desires and impulses.
Yeah.
Because it's about different ways of karate and all that, and like kind of like the bad way in the show is to just like give into your rage and give into your anger, but then like the better way is to like balance and defense and all that. So yeah, it's interesting.
I never had processed that Karate Kid was a massive franchise.
There's only 4 movies.
Well, yeah,
well, 5,
but they have.
but
This says 5. 6th one is coming out this year.
Yeah.
And then Cobra Kai has been going on. It's just interesting because it's not a cinematic universe, but it's a franchise that's continued on. And I know my dad watched the '84 movie, the original, which is a lot of people in that era did because that was the big hit.
Yeah.
But I don't think maybe he can correct me. Part 2, Part 3, next Karate Kid, The Karate Kid, which is the same title as the '84 movie. There's the Karate Kid '84 and the Karate Kid 2010.
Oh, 2010's the remake with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is getting like...
Oh, I see. A similar storyline, but the different set of characters.
Except that one's about Kung Fu. Fun fact. Even though it's still called Karate Kid.
Yeah, the remake focused on Kung Fu.
I've never seen it, but that's so dumb to me.
The Kung Fu Kid.
It's like, why are you still calling it Karate Kid when it's not even karate?
Yeah, but then people hopped on the kind of nostalgia train with Cobra Kai, with the returning actors, and then the movie is releasing this summer. I don't know. I'm wondering what my dad has seen, like if he just saw one and has no idea that there were 5 other movies and a TV show. Like, some people were just happy with the one movie. And again, the one-hit wonders never stay one-hit wonders anymore. No. So,
and I think the movies do get increasingly worse, especially like with the 80s film. I mean, the first one's the one everyone remembers, but after that, they just kind of get. I kind of still want to watch them just because characters from like not from the 4th one, but from characters from the first 3 movies all come back in Cobra Kai. So that's interesting. Cobra Kai also gets so over the top. So it's a series about kids karate, under 18 karate, right?
Sure.
In the last episode I watched, someone gets framed for attempted murder. and it's like because of kids karate. So I was like, oh, okay.
It's dark and deep. And...
That just happened. Sometimes things like that happen where you're like, I guess I don't want to spoil it too much if anyone intends to go watch, but maybe I should stop there then. Because there's, in like the penultimate episode of the whole show, something so absurd happens, and then you're just like, this is because of kids karate right now. Why did that happen?
Yeah.
But anyway.
And the reason it connects to Karate Kid is the mentors are the characters from Karate Kid.
Yeah, but I mean, the really interesting thing about the show too is it's about Johnny Lawrence, who was the bully from. Have you seen Karate Kid? You gotta go watch Karate Kid.
As I was berated by Andy, I need to watch a bunch of the old movies.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Ninjas Are Butterflies wearing a shirt they sent us. Go listen to that episode. That was really fun.
Yeah, go do that. Anyway,
I need to watch old movies, apparently.
Yeah.
I do. I know that. I've known that.
It's about the bully from the first movie who gets kicked in the face at the end of it. And he's kind of let, during a tournament, and he kind of lets that ruin his life for like 30 years. So then at one point he decides the only good thing in his life is karate, so he decides to bring back his old dojo, which was Cobra Kai, which is the name of the series. So
that's the name of the movie.
Yeah, so it's kind of all 6 seasons is kind of like a redemption arc for him. So that's a really cool story and an interesting way to go with it.
Yeah.
I mean, the easy route would have just been making it about the main character from the original show, and I mean, he still plays a heavy role in the show, but focusing on just that one character from the movie was an interesting route to take, and it's cool when they don't go the easy route with things like that. So for just the nostalgia. But.
Yep. All right, we're 10 minutes in and technically haven't started our list because I threw that in. Daredevil Born Again, 3-episode review.
Yes.
Technically only 2 weeks because they did a double premiere.
Is this going to be a spoiler talk or a non-spoiler talk?
This is spoiler talk. If you don't want spoilers for Daredevil Born Again, jump to...
this timestamp.
I'm mouthing it and then I'll put it in after.
Okay.
I'm not...
22 minutes, 52 seconds.
I'm getting upset.
Why are you upset?
I'm glad you asked.
Tell me, Seth.
That sounds scripted, but that's just how you and I are. What was it that I said, or maybe High Top said, is that Daredevil doesn't pretend... Oh, it was Arcane. Arcane doesn't pretend that the audience is stupid. I feel like I am being degraded by the showrunners of Born Again.
I don't
with
feel
small
like that.
things like Punisher tattoos, being like, and then I've ranted to you about how I'm getting fed up with people finding out that Foggy might have faked his death because of
Everyone thinks
Easter
they're
eggs.
just smart for saying that,
I know that everyone thinks they're smart, and I'm just getting fed up with
It's
it.
more just like fans being annoying. So
And
maybe we're the annoying fans too.
yeah,
But
no, we're not, because I'm not doing the face into the camera.
clickbait.
Clickbait. I'm gonna probably use that face.
Foggy's alive?
Nobody knew.
Whoa.
But even outside of how fans are reacting and the street number being the comic run that actually showed that he faked his death, it just makes me mad because of how Daredevil Born Again has been treated and what's come out, where that 1 through 6 is now episodes 2 through 7. And whatever happened in episode 1 just felt wrong to me and shoved in there, especially... I mean, everyone was feeling things, and especially... I actually felt more when Dex was thrown off the building, and then he is alive.
Yeah.
So that is just a bait and switch for me. I do think that it helped... When you consider what they added, it does help, because being thrown into no Karen, Foggy is dead somehow.
Yeah, maybe.
Not being shown that. Well, I'm saying that if you're thrown into the halfway through episode 1, which is where the season was supposed to start. You have no Karen, Foggy's dead, Dex is alive and still going to prison. Maybe that part was still added because Karen shows up at the courthouse. I believe that was probably...
Well, I think episode 2 was actually intended to be the premiere.
I thought you had said, or somebody said, that somewhere through episode 1 was actually the start. Because that is where the storylines start.
Yeah, but I think they probably just...
It's recutting. For the most part, episode 2 would have been the premiere. and recutting
Yeah.
some things into episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then episode 3 happened this week. I just had a wrong expectation, I guess, that we were going to see more of Hector.
Yeah.
And I guess they didn't promise us that ever.
No.
So I do think that episode 3 had the best courtroom scene,
Yeah.
I think, in the whole show.
I mean, it was a courtroom episode.
Yeah.
Practically.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm thinking about, a lot of people will point to Matt's dialogues in the Netflix show as
Yeah.
really good courtroom scenes. They were.
How many? We got like 2, I feel like, in the original Netflix show.
And they were good.
Yeah, they were good.
Like, he played to their emotion. Really. It shows the skill that
Yeah.
Matt has as a character to be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that this drama is doing a great job. The banter, the back and forth between prosecutor and defense, the judge, the behind the scenes stuff, like going into the chambers to
Yeah.
talk about stuff just to lawyers, like that. That makes sense.
That's something we never saw in the original show.
Which, I mean, I'm sure that happens in
Wait, maybe we did. I don't remember.
I don't think so.
No.
But I'm saying that probably happens in
Yeah.
courtroom dramas.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's being combined with the superhero show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just doing a great job. I'm frustrated just because I told Ellie as we were watching it, I think it was when Hector was on the stand testifying, I said, Daredevil has made me worried that a headshot could just happen at any moment. Mm-hmm. And it could, because then it did at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But I don't like that.
No, when you're not
I
supposed
think that's
to.
lazy. No.
You think it's lazy to kill him like that?
No. Sorry. I'm saying,
okay.
they already did the secret witness being courted around
Yeah.
to make sure he gets to the courthouse. Mm-hmm. And it just feels like it's all a sham. I mean, I did see somebody say...
Oh, they did that in season 3, didn't they?
Yeah, with
No, they did. Yeah, with Ray.
Nadim, sorry. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's still setting itself up. Mm-hmm. There's something that's still going to happen. He hasn't put the costume back on. I still don't know how he got out of the situation where he beat up dirty cops.
There was a conversation between the two of them.
Oh, yeah, the one
Where they
cop.
were both kind of like, I mean, neither of us were supposed to be there. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Which I think is
Because that's what Matt...
an acceptable way to handle it.
Matt
so.
threatened them with that. He's like,
Yeah.
you can't out me or else
Yeah.
you're going to out yourself for being there.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. And I do think, I don't know if you brought this up or if it's just that obvious and I needed it spelled out, but his Fisk's side man, the young guy, is Muse. I think that makes the most sense. He's going to end up having a dark secret.
You think that guy's Muse?
I thought that's what you said.
No, Muse. I said Muse was the guy in like the first episode at the book signing. At the
Oh, you're right. The one with
That
this. He was
creepy guy,
He was
yeah.
acting weird. He asked Heather if she had more openings.
Yeah,
That
I
doesn't-
think that guy's definitely more Muse than.
Because he's unstable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say all unstable people are going to turn into supervillains. Let's make that clear. But
Yeah.
I think they're definitely setting him up for something with that scene. That scene was very intentional, and he's, sometimes you can tell just by the actor that gets cast if they're like a known actor, and like he was big in Wednesday, so
I don't know.
I haven't
I
seen
don't know.
Wednesday either. But
Well, I don't recognize him, but
okay, he's done enough stuff to make him like recognizable. So like, I don't think he's just meant to be a throwaway scene. So,
oh, for sure.
yeah.
The other thing, and we should wrap up to move on to actually get to content. I think the next two topics will go quick.
Yeah.
I like the modern take on a superhero show with how crowds work. I said this about the Superman trailer, just having everyone having their phones out. That's the thing, is to just film it. Everybody film it. It's a little insensitive to assume that you're the only one who's going to matter.
Yeah.
But again, more angles help in the real world. And the Superman trailer shows that when Fisk was saying, get this pothole filled, people, that's what brought him up in the polls, is because, or maybe...
Because he gets stuff done,
Yeah, he gets stuff done. I don't think that was the polls. It was after he won it. But yeah, it's good. I'm trying to parse good cinema with feelings. And I think that's what Daredevil did. And that's where I see your perspective. I'm just upset with some storylines.
Yeah.
And not how I would have written it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what we're going to get into.
don't think we're getting to Daredevil today.
Not Daredevil,
No.
but rewriting.
Yeah, rewriting.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, what was I about to say?
Final Daredevil things.
Yeah, I definitely think, like, the first scene of the show, I feel like should have been the last scene in, like, a 3-episode arc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, part of that's just because I wish we would have had more Foggy and Karen before they both got written out. But it's just so, like, killing Foggy like that, spoilers, we already gave that,
Yeah.
feels more like a climax of an arc than just so sudden in the first 10 minutes of the show.
I feel like that's the way that a lot of things happen with shows, is they mistake the hook for the climax.
Yeah.
And putting things in the... thinking about House of David, the opening had the fight with Goliath, and then they cut back to previous story. I think that's okay, but I think you either have to write climax into the opening, you do that where you show the climax and then say, here's the backstory.
Yeah.
Promising that at the end. But I don't think that How Born Again opened was either of those things. I was going to find the one quote that I found.
That first scene, too, had me a bit worried, because it's kind of what I was worried Daredevil Born Again was going to be, just with how the action scenes were shot, especially. Because that first action scene was not it. To be honest, I mean, they
were all rubber men. They were all CG doubles, and it was the one thing, the oneer.
Yeah.
Immediately off the bat, was not as great. Definitely the last place out of all of them.
Yep.
Just here, I really need to find this quote that I sent you.
What was I about to say? I mean, that the part in the staircase was cool. I mean, that was very reminiscent of Daredevil, because you could actually tell it was the real actors. I mean, it wasn't CGI there, but I don't know. Some people say it looked like video games. I didn't think it was that bad, but you could still tell they weren't real people. Yeah. And I think, that first scene was pretty much added just to explain why Foggy and Karen weren't going to be in the rest of the show. Because I think they are still stuck with a chunk of the original version. So I think
the opening of Born Again begs this question that I heard in a podcast. Does Born Again, or is it giving the fans what they want, or trying to look like the thing they want? Because that's what it felt at the beginning, was tokenism of Foggy, Karen, Oneer, Bullseye, violence.
Yeah.
None of it, like, we got the hard scene of watching Foggy die, but it just felt soulless.
I would say the new side characters are okay. Not too much to complain about them.
Somebody said that his new partner is a mix of Karen and Foggy, plus diversity.
I wouldn't play the diversity card there. It's
Not
just,
really.
I don't know.
No, I get it. It's what somebody said. I'm not saying I say that, but I see the mix of Foggy and Karen.
Yeah,
like the Murdoch, or the Nelson, Murdoch, and Page would have had that dynamic of a but it feels like she just both characters mashed together. So there's a lot more to talk about. We will have a Daredevil Born Again episode when it's done.
There. But wait, was I going to say something?
The problem is that we're going to be talking about Born Again a lot, and we said that we wanted to do another.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, this
Netflix
was just a quick.
This has been 20 minutes.
Yeah, this was meant to just be our quick 1/3 review.
This is 25 minutes in.
Yikes. Yeah.
Okay.
Fun times.
Yeah. Okay.
Quickly going.
Other things that happened. Live action Lilo and Stitch trailer. Looks cute.
You're falling for it, Seth.
I said.
Don't do that.
No, I said, how can they mess this up? Because it just looks so innocent.
You're falling for it. That's what they want you to say.
You know what they're going to do? I've seen so many reels of like Lilo and Stitch changed after 9/11 to make sure it wasn't, flying through New York.
Yeah, in an
they're
actual
going to switch
plane.
it back.
I don't think they're going to do that.
No, they won't do that. It actually looks cute. I actually need to watch the first one.
Fall for it. You haven't seen Lilo and Stitch?
No. I will. The actress for
Stop.
the actress for Lilo is super cute. I've seen interviews with her, and she's like talking like she's a teen or an adult. Like she's got what it takes. And I think that this is the start of her career. I think the animation looks good. You don't think so?
I mean, I think it looks good.
I think it works to its advantage because they're aliens.
Yeah.
It's not Lion King. It's not an integration like Beauty and the Beast or something like that.
I just don't think this movie needs to exist.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, okay.
But it does,
Yeah.
and I think it looks great.
Yeah.
I think because it's so simple, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's still I'll probably say this again in a few weeks in an episode, just to tease that. But the thing with live action remakes is they make a load of money.
Yeah.
But they'll never be as good as the original.
No.
So they're just
nostalgia.
They're just made to make money.
Yeah.
And that's it.
We do have an episode coming up on live action remakes that I think Deacon's going to join us for.
And really?
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, he's
Oh, right. There's a teaser there.
There's a teaser for something that hasn't happened yet, so we can't actually guarantee it.
Yeah. But it's likely to happen.
Very likely.
What is that too? Dude, they didn't even get Cobra Bubbles right. That makes me upset. I mean, you haven't seen Lilo and
No,
Stitch.
I can't be upset.
Do you know what he looks like in the original movie?
Yeah, of course.
It's like, who's this guy they got when Cobra Bubbles was meant to look like that?
Oh.
That's what Cobra Bubbles is meant to look like.
Uh-huh.
But they got like this guy here.
You are right in saying, who did you say?
Ving Rhames. I think Ving Rhames played him in the original.
Yeah.
Not even sunglasses.
Yeah, he did. Ving Rhames would have been great.
This looks like some kind of like business guy. When he's meant to look like an FBI agent, it's just like...
Well, Chris Sanders is playing Stitch again.
Well,
I'm comparing the casts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure he's like the Gollum, where if you made the character, you get to keep playing him.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can be upset that it's being made, but it's being made, and I'm going to judge it on a movie as is, and then acknowledge that it shouldn't have been greenlit ever.
Dude, I think with all of these live-action remakes going to come out, I'm going to watch the original on the day it releases, just out of spite. And not even go see the remake in theaters.
Yeah, that's very fair.
How to Train Your Dragon, I'm just going to watch the original. I don't care if you think the movie looks good. It shouldn't exist.
You're right. Okay.
Pleakley also looks... I mean, he looks as good as he could. I don't know if you know which one Pleakley is. He's the one with, like, the one eye. You know, there's the guy, like, transforms into him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much better you could have done.
Yeah.
But he looks a little weird. Maybe he wasn't meant to be live action. Maybe animated movies aren't meant to be turned into live action.
That's crazy. All right.
Maybe we need new ideas. Okay.
Last news, Sadie Sink in Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. Have you seen Stranger Things?
Yeah.
I've not seen Stranger Things. I have to watch Stranger Things.
It's good.
That's why I have to throw on my watch list.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling everybody's going to be making a lot of predictions on who she is, and then is going to get it all wrong.
Yeah.
But you think that she shouldn't be Jean
She
Grey?
should not be Jean Grey.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that mutants should come into play in Spider-Man 4.
All right, and here's my rant again, real quick.
Oh boy.
Let Spider-Man 4 be a Spider-Man movie.
Yep.
Don't be a multiverse film. Don't be a movie that introduces the X. I mean, I guess we've kind of... It's weird. I feel like we keep having introductions to the X-Men in MCU
I actually
movies.
I'm going to talk about this in the next half hour of the episode because that's all the time we have left.
What was I saying?
Mutants.
Yeah, mutants. Yeah, I mean, don't do anything crazy to just overshadow Tom Holland just being Spider-Man. You know, give us a simple plot, nothing too major. He really doesn't need a mentor. Just give us a movie about Peter Parker figuring out this new season of life as both Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Give us some, I don't know, maybe give us Scorpion as a villain. Maybe finally, like, go somewhere with that setup.
Deliver on some promises for once.
maybe Prowler, because that was also kind of set up. But I don't know how that connects with the Across the Spider-Verse scene. That's a little complicated.
I think if we get to rewrite Phase 5, I have ideas.
Okay.
Because, sorry, we should have thrown this in the Daredevil spoiler-free, or spoiler territory.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a spoiler. It's a reference. Matt refers to Officer Morales, which is technically Officer Davis. But I'm pretty sure they put that in specifically...
You think so? I think
to
that was
continue
just like
to continue to set up Miles as a live-action character in the MCU.
Okay.
Eventually. So I think that Spider-Man 4 could do more for that. With the Prowler... Oh, I guess that... Sorry, that was live-action in Across the Spider-Verse. But you had Uncle Aaron in Spider-Man 1. And I know that we're confusing people because it's not Spider-Man 1, it's Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
But then this reference in Born Again, I think it's leading up to more than just references.
Part of me doesn't think they were thinking about Spider-Man when they wrote Officer Morales. I don't know.
A cop in New York who shares the same name.
I don't know.
I know he's Jeff Davis.
Yeah.
But it's too much of a coincidence to just
Maybe.
out of the hundreds of thousands of names that exist.
I still feel like they would have said Officer Davis if they meant.
You're right. Part of me is thinking that they're just stupid. Because they would say Davis.
Yeah.
I think they said Morales because Morales is the name of another superhero.
Perk up ears.
And then everybody who's actually a fan is like, that's not his name.
Wait a minute.
Unless Miles became an officer or his mom is an officer. I don't know.
Or maybe they just did that so people on podcasts would talk like this.
We've been fooled.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut our catch-up time. I really think that we should have roundtables at the end of the month to recap what's happened, and then we don't have to have a half hour of talking about this.
We're actually even like...
What?
We were talking about Sadie Sink, and then we went on a rabbit trail there.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
like, I don't know who... just to be clear, I don't know who she's playing. Maybe they're doing Gwen Stacy, but that would be kind of weird with what happened in No Way Home.
Yeah.
It could be the whole, like, him avoiding canon thing like you were talking about, too.
High Top has a great video out right now about what he would do.
That'd be an interesting plot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anyways.
We're going to get into the meat of the episode half hour in.
Yeah, do we have an episode today?
Yeah, we do. We have very different opposing views, and I think different structures.
I wouldn't say opposed. I think we probably...
We're going to compromise.
We're going to agree more than I think we will.
I've written my entire Phase 4. I don't know if you've written the entire Phase 4, but you have ideas.
I probably should have written that more than I did.
I have titles, order.
Titles, wow.
Not titles. They're the same titles, mostly.
Okay.
I saw you had a different title for one.
I have one of it.
But I have, I basically reordered and rewrote. Not necessarily...
He's got full scripts over here.
Before we actually get into what we would change, I want to figure out where we are coming at this from. First off,
Give ourselves some rules, too.
we are assuming that Marvel didn't take the advice to stop the MCU after Phase 3. That's kind of a given, because we're rewriting Phase 4. Should they have? Probably. But money. Slow things down. Oh, sorry.
And I was going to say, too, we're not going to fix anything before Phase 4. I think we should give ourselves that rule.
Yeah.
Just...
We could do a Phase 1, 2, and 3 rewrite at some point, but not a lot would be changed. We could probably
we wouldn't be changing much.
We could probably do all 3 of those phases just as...
Yeah, that would just be small
episode.
Tweaks, I feel like. So I don't know if that would be necessary for an episode.
But everyone agrees that Phase 4 was brutal.
Yeah, it was just a disorganized mess, so...
Well, another thing I had written down, slow things down. 2 movies, 2 shows a year.
Okay.
I think it's kind of an arbitrary number, but I think that you get kind of quarters. You get your quarters of times to ebb and flow, up and down, keep the hype going that way.
So how many years do you think this phase should be? 3 years then?
I didn't calculate that.
Okay.
I mean, I wrote down 2 movies, 2 shows, and then I wrote out all of the movies or what I would do with each installment, but I didn't really consider how long that would take. And then overall, are we, I believe you said we're trying to build the new Avengers and keep the multiverse out of it. But still, I think that there should be hints at who's to come.
Yeah.
Should that be Kang or Doom?
Yeah, I think we also have to act under the assumption that Kang is still going to be the main villain of the multiverse saga.
Interesting.
Just because, I mean, you know, we wouldn't have known, or, you know, they didn't know everything that was going to happen with Jonathan Majors, so I think we still have to act under that.
Act like we're in 20...
Act under that assumption.
What was it, 2020, 2021?
Yeah, around there.
That's unfortunate.
Really?
Because I said Doom because of Fantastic Four.
You're putting Fantastic Four in Phase 4?
I'm struggling... No.
Oh, okay, I was about to say.
I'm struggling to put myself back in the shoes of Marvel in 2021.
Okay.
Or I guess it was probably 2019 when Endgame was finishing up and they were figuring out where to go next. If they greenlight... I think they have recovered well. I don't agree with the RDJ casting, but I think that with Fantastic Four coming up, they probably did some reshoots to get him in that, to lead up into whatever happens next, which again we talked about in our the state of MCU, is that technically, I think that Doomsday is coming out next year. That's what they said. They said 2026, and that's...
Sure. Didn't they get pushed back to 2027? I thought 2026 was like the original release date.
Currently, Google says that 2026 is when Avengers Doomsday is releasing. I don't think that's happening.
Oh, really?
But as far as... Look, May 1st, 2026. They're rushing this because they need something big.
Which is not good.
Not good. But I'm saying that if we were to start from 2019 and move on, I think that Doom is a better villain. And Fantastic Four, even though that's Phase 5, could be a bigger movie than just an intro movie. Because they got the rights in 2019-ish. They announced that they were making one. And then, they didn't know. Maybe Doom was going to be like the Phase 7, 8, and 9. And they pushed that up because of Kang and Jonathan Majors. So I see what that is, how that works. And I don't know. I think with Kang being a multiversal character and us wanting to leave multiverse for a little bit, that was their pitfall, was that Kang was an easy multiverse character, and they needed multiverse now in Phase 4 that we actually got. So I see your point. I think that if we were to keep the multiverse away for a little bit, the character would be Doom. Okay. And it could still be our world somehow. I don't know how, but it is. Maybe the Fantastic Four still happened in the 60s. No, I actually think the Fantastic Four could have been written as a modern, new characters, new superheroes after Endgame. I don't know. We're not there yet. Sorry, we're getting caught up.
I don't know why we're
in where we are now.
We got distracted there. We're like in Phase 6 when we're talking about Phase 4.
Okay,
so are we acting under the assumption that Kang is going to be the main villain of the multiverse saga?
I'm gonna have to change stuff that I did.
Okay,
but we'll see. Maybe we'll come to that conclusion.
Wait, do you have a main villain of this phase?
Not really. I kind of
just... Because I was acting that the Skrulls were going to be the... That's why I
think that's something we agree on, is that Secret Invasion should have been the climax of the phase.
Yep.
With Skrulls turning evil.
Or just a rogue sect of Skrulls.
Yeah.
And I think, too, I mean, I kind of see that Avengers Secret Invasion tend to phase kind of in the same way that... Kind of like Avengers Age of Ultron, in the sense that it wasn't like a relevant plot to the saga, but it just kind of established kind of who the Avengers were still.
Yeah, it got Wanda in the picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vision. So I think that's an important movie, and I think, this phase is going to be about setting up the Avengers. So I think, too, just kind of having that movie there to, like, say, yes, these are who the Avengers are before everything happens with the multiverse and all that, just kind of having a smaller, it's not small scale, but a smaller scale than the multiverse collapsing.
Yeah.
Just before things get too confusing, just say, these are who our main team of heroes are. So.
For sure.
And I think that's what this whole phase is going to be about.
Yeah.
So. I think we have to have hints of the Avengers being set up and hints of Skrulls going throughout this whole phase. So.
Here's one thing that I thought about as a standard for when I was working out what to do. Are we following up on whoever's left over after Endgame, or meeting new people, or balance of both?
I think it's got to be a balance.
Yeah, I do think that. But I think that it was not handled well in what we got in the real world. This is what I wrote down. I restructured what already exists and didn't really add anything new. So I said that, or this is in relation to that question of checking up or introducing. So Falcon, and these are Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Hawkeye, and Loki are checkups. Because those were people who existed, and they're like, what happened? Where are they now? Shang-Chi, Eternals, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Ms. Marvel are new. And Black Widow, Spider-Man 3, Black Panther, and Doctor Strange fit as sequels, though I don't think that some of them should have been made. Mm-hmm. So that's where they're not really checkups, they're just sequels to their own movies. Mm-hmm. And then the first four, Wanda, Falcon, Hawkeye, and Loki, were direct sequels even, I would say, or spin-offs to Endgame. Anyways, just interesting to point those out. Let's get into the changes unless you had anything else.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I see something really bold right off the bat.
Yeah, okay. Here, I don't like the movie.
No, say it, because they can't read it.
Black Widow is what we're talking about. If we're not fixing Phase 3, Black Widow still has to come out now.
So you think that...
Just to set up Yelena for the most part.
Okay.
I guess she could be introduced in Hawkeye, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think she should be introduced in Hawkeye.
Okay, you think we can just keep her in?
I don't think Echo should be in Hawkeye, and that whole show could be restructured to be a better story.
Well,
because I don't want her.
Wait, that's a Phase 5 project.
No, I'm saying her appearance in Hawkeye.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I'll get to Hawkeye in a sec, but I think I said that Fisk should be the main villain, not a surprise villain at the very end. And Yelena is kind of this. There's always sometimes a side character, a side villain. She can be the side villain with still some dialogue between her and Val. I think Val can still show up in Hawkeye. Sorry, that's how I would write it.
Okay.
And give context to why she's trying to kill Clint. But yeah, that could all be saved because I don't think Black Widow was a good installment, especially the whole maybe COVID. Maybe we're ignoring COVID as well because Black Widow was released in the middle of that and didn't.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah, yeah.
But
I understand a lot of why Phase 4 happened the way it did. Some of that was because of COVID, so I think we'll have to, like, plots had to be changed in films and plot lines had to be cut because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of have to just ignore COVID, even though that's not really fair to Marvel. But
yeah.
Boo-hoo, Marvel.
I actually don't know because are we making a single one that we agree on? I think we should, yeah. Okay, interesting. But I don't know how to go about that because our orders are different. Do you want to just read through yours? I mean, I just have ideas. I don't really have a... Okay, like read through yours, I'll read through mine, and then we'll come up with... I just have ideas. I don't even have... I only have like 4 movies and a couple shows written down that I... Okay, go for it. Want to keep... Just go for it. I mean, we can talk about this, but... I think the first movie, in my mind, should be a Captain America movie. Mm-hmm. You know, sequel to Endgame with Sam taking the shield. I would kind of see this as kind of a mix of both Falcon Winter Soldier and Brave New World. We talked about this. Yeah, we've talked about it. Because I think Sam really just goes through the same character arc in both films, just finding confidence in being Captain America. Yeah. The only difference is that he is Captain America in Brave New World, so that's a weird balance. And I think you could have a movie where President Ross is trying to set up John Walker as the next Captain America. And then I think you need to have some kind of threat that seems too big for Sam to handle in the film. I think he would see Walker handling it better than he is and, kind of consider that maybe he should just let John Walker take Captain America. But I think as the movie goes, he sees that John Walker isn't that great of a guy and everything. And I think I would say the Serpent Society should be the villains for that movie. Just kind of a terrorist organization, I would say. Was the Serpent Society the name of Winter Soldier initially, or was that the code name? Because they have I think that was the That's what it was announced as.
Yeah, I think that might have just been to trick the fans too. But anyway, like Sidewinder from Brave New World is part of the Serpent Society, and there was originally supposed to be more of them in the movie, but they got cut because that movie had umpteenth reshoots. So I think kind of having them, would be better than the Flag Smashers.
Yeah, for sure. We had talked about how Brave New World and Falcon and Winter Soldier could just be the same.
Yeah.
They accomplish the same thing.
And I think you could have Sharon Carter in the role of that, the Israeli agent from Brave New World.
And not make her evil. Sorry, Sharon Carter evil.
Hold up on that.
Okay. I also think that doing that, I wrote Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been a movie.
Yeah.
So I think that they both can work together. Brave New World's themes as a movie, maybe the storyline of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I also think that having Joaquin Torres being the new Falcon can be a side
we can keep that
story. Because he does both. He starts to become Falcon in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then he's full on. He's mostly Falcon in Brave New World. So I think that can just be all one thing.
And I think we can have Bucky in the movie as well.
I also think
maybe we're getting a little full here, but
little full. But what's new?
Yeah.
Having a storyline about the Sokovia Accords being repealed is this story, or at least more is put into that storyline in this movie, because that's just a throwaway line in She-Hulk.
Yeah. Wow, this place has an echo.
And especially because if we're bringing Brave New World storylines in, and that story of Cap Falcon working with the government, let's start talking about maybe the Sokovia Accords should be repealed, or continuing, and even giving more context to that situation. I think we agree on that.
And I think it could end with a scene with Ross and Sam, where Ross is like, if you're going to be the new Captain America, then you have to establish a new team of Avengers. Have a scene like that.
Is he the Red Hulk?
I say we set him up as Red Hulk.
But not make him the...
We're not going to make him
not sell the movie on it, and then...
We're not going to have him for 5 minutes at the end.
And then make it, sun's getting real low at the very end, lock him up in the raft. No, I think you're right. Harrison Ford still?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Sounds good. I like that.
And my working title for that movie would be Captain America: Battle for the Shield. Just with that... I guess, it's an internal struggle within Sam, but also that external struggle with him and John Walker. So
yeah. Cool.
Any other thoughts on? I was gonna say, Sharon Carter. I'd still want to see it suggested throughout the film that she's a bit shady. And then
was there that turn? Does that have any basis with Civil War? Her appearance there, as in like. Are we changing a character for no reason, or has she always been this way? It's kind of like the Rhodey thing.
Okay, well, it's funny that you bring up Rhodey.
We're talking about... No.
Because I would say in a post-credit scene, we reveal her as a Skrull.
Okay. That's fine if that works with how she was introduced in Civil War. Because part of the problem is that it didn't seem like she was antagonistic in Civil War. She seemed like she wanted to help. Specifically being
you
Peggy's...
could say she was replaced after Civil War.
Okay. Oh, because okay. So she's a replaced Skrull instead of an always been a Skrull.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's always been a Skrull. Everyone's been replaced.
I think there's a place for someone to have always been a Skrull.
Oh, I guess Captain Marvel kind of establishes that people like Skrulls started lives as humans. So I guess that has happened. But
I don't know who, but I'm just arguing.
Yeah, like Rhodey was replaced, Everett Ross was replaced.
Yeah.
So I think that could be the first hint of what we're going to end the phase with the Secret Invasion movie.
Sure.
And I think that's the only post-credit scene I think I had for that movie.
Okay, sure.
Do you have anything else for that one?
No, I think we're all in line with that. And I like it as the first one. I switched mine around. Most of these are in release order as is. Again, I didn't really go that far. I liked story changes instead of release changes.
And I think, I'll give us an updated list as we're going.
Okay.
Just so at the end we can go through the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, I think it would have been helpful. Black Lion did his rewrite of Phase 4.
Oh, we did. Okay.
And did dates and his changes. I didn't do dates, so some of these may not even have a place. Like I have WandaVision next, and my real change is that Monica doesn't become a superhero.
Really?
And then we still get White Vision. Agatha doesn't need a show. Like her inclusion is still fine. It just needs to be brought up more in the future.
So why shouldn't Monica become a hero?
Congestion. Because I started putting together the Secret Invasion cast, and I was like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
And so just removing the existence of one works better than removing her as a character. She can still become a superhero maybe later, but I just felt like my lineup for Secret Invasion heroes was getting cluttered, and that was an easy one to be like, she just doesn't have to be a superhero.
I mean, that could happen in our like rewrite for Phase 5, maybe in like a Captain Marvel 2 of some sort.
Well, yeah, I think I nixed the Marvels completely.
Well, that's Phase 5.
Never mind.
So,
yeah, I would, but I didn't.
I think there is a better Captain Marvel 2 that there could have been, but that's
for sure.
for another discussion.
Yeah. What do you have?
So Monica does not become a hero, and that's
you're updating it. Okay, sure.
That's the only difference we have.
I think so. I think it was a fine show.
Okay.
I
I think there could have been changes. I mean, this doesn't affect the overall flow of the whole thing, but just with they'll never know what they did for you, Wanda.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, we're not.
We're not that detailed.
We're not going to change stuff like that. That was a dumb line for obvious reasons. But
I think they're too scared to make their characters villains.
Yeah.
And yet she made that change in Multiverse of Madness. But I think the end of WandaVision was like, you can have her be evil. Like, yeah, she wanted to do it for her imaginary boys and her love for a robot. When you put it that way, it's really weird. But she's still evil. Like, it didn't have to be so sympathetic. Because then that doesn't lead into Multiverse of Madness well. And you're like, oh, now she's wrong for wanting those things. Even though Monica said that she was right.
So are we going to have Scarlet Witch come back for the Avengers Secret Invasion?
I did not have her.
Okay,
I think she's
so she's
still
gonna be-
as a side villain and could have a redemption, but I also think... Oh, wait, no.
Or is she just going to be gone until Multiverse of Madness at this point?
Multiverse is...
we're saving that for Phase 5.
Yeah,
but-
I don't have a good... I mean, I have the list here, but I forget where it starts and ends.
Okay.
But yeah, I think she could be a villain for a while.
Okay. So we're going to just kind of write her off until Phase 5.
I think so.
Okay.
Or we could put her in some other ones, but I think she's also a multiversal character. And if we're pushing that off a little bit, I think that works.
Just kind of have her in that cabin at the end of the series with the Darkhold until then.
Yeah.
So, oh, by the way, I don't know if we made it clear, but with the multiverse taking a back seat, we're going to be cutting most of the multiverse projects, like No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness.
Cutting them.
Well, not cutting them, but just stalling them until
Phase
5. Was that your plan?
I didn't have... Where did I have No Way Home?
Did you have Spider?
I might have on it. Oh no, it is here. Never mind. We can talk about that, but we got to keep moving.
Okay. Anyway, should we do Shang-Chi next? I think we can keep Shang-Chi.
I have Shang-Chi next.
Okay.
Technically, I
And
said Shang-Chi stays, but take out Trevor and update/deliver on the post-credit scene.
Okay, I don't think Trevor necessarily has to be cut for...
What did he add?
I'm just saying we're focusing more on like the flow of...
I didn't like Trevor, so I want to cut him.
Okay, maybe we can cut Trevor. I didn't like the giant CGI monster at the end, but I don't want to come up with a reason or
If we're
way to replace
rewriting,
him.
I'm going to say that I don't like Trevor.
Okay, we're cutting Trevor. I think this movie, I would give a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene.
Okay.
I think the movie itself can still be the same. Besides, I guess we're cutting Trevor. But we're keeping Kate. No, I'm joking.
No.
We can keep Kate. I don't want to get too much into that
You're right.
nitty details. In the mid-credit scene, I would say we reveal that Wong is a Skrull.
Wong.
Was replaced by a Skrull.
A good scroll or a bad scroll?
By a bad Skrull. I think all these post-credit, I mean...
You want to connect
some
it
of them-
more to Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
that
kind of a
makes sense.
subtle build.
Yeah. And Shang-Chi, okay, do you still keep the Abomination Wong fight?
Yeah,
Because
I
that
would-
seemed out of place as just
I...
fodder to get people to watch it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that's kind of just another nitty detail. And I'm like, I don't know where else to go with that. So.
Sure. It doesn't need to be Abomination.
Yeah, it doesn't
It
have
could
to
have just
be.
been a
Could have been
monster
anyone.
fight or something.
But
or
then
magic fight.
In the post-credit scene. So basically, I'm replacing both scenes in that movies.
Sure.
Because I don't know where the first one was headed with, Bruce and Captain Marvel and the rings and all that.
Yeah.
I think they've kind of axed that plan anyway, wherever it's heading, because I think that was going to be connected with Kang. And then the second one, I think there may have been a series that was supposed to come out at some point about the Ten Rings.
Okay.
Because that's his sister.
Oh yeah, that was the other
stepping
setup.
in.
Was she was sitting on the throne.
I don't know. Again, no idea where that was supposed to go. So, but in the post-credit scene, I think we have Sam Wilson recruiting Shang-Chi for the Avengers.
Yeah, that's something that I saw. This is really the start of the Avengers. This is the Nick Fury and Iron Man's home type of scene where it's like we're gonna kick this off again, and or even reference Endgame. Like, all right, they're done. Cap's gone.
Yeah.
Tony's dead. Thor's missing.
Thor's in space. Yeah.
Let's do something. This world still needs protecting, kind of.
Hulk is smart Hulk.
Hulk's a wuss.
Yeah. The more I think about it, that would be such a cool scene though, with Sam Wilson recruiting Shang-Chi.
Yeah, for sure.
Like him just kind of like...
And
being-
since he's been set up as Cap through his first movie that we've written, I like
with
that.
him just like being in the shadows first too, and just being like Shang-Chi.
What if he's trying to be Fury? Like he's
That'd be funny.
He's dramatically and ironically being Fury, and then he's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I like it. Cool. Shang-Chi's good. Before Shang-Chi, again, I don't care that much about the order. I have Black Widow. That's cut.
Okay.
Characters would be introduced in other projects. Yelena in Hawkeye. Some videos I watched said Red Guardian should not be introduced at all.
Okay.
Maybe until Thunderbolts, or I don't know. We're not into Phase 5 yet. We'll worry about it
Yeah,
later.
I see. I mean, Yelena was like the most important part of that movie, and
I think they're including Red Guardian because he's another character they didn't do anything with, and so he's like, oh, it's a bad guy that we can recruit to the team, because the Thunderbolts has been multiple characters throughout the comics. The other thing I had was Loki. Not necessarily before or after Shang-Chi, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the release of Loki doesn't really matter to me of when it releases. But...
I'm willing to rewrite this, but I said that Loki should be the start of the multiverse instead of WandaVision or Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Fast track the season 2 storyline so he's the king of the multiverse by the end of season 1, or maybe
What?
Hold up.
I don't think we're doing that.
Hold up. Looking down on storylines that we're watching now, basically as the Watcher character. This is
That'd be such.
maybe Loki comes further down in the pipeline, so that it better sets up Phase 5's introduction to the multiverse. But I think that works. I think season 1 dilly-dallied a lot. When you consider season 1 and 2 as a whole story, where Loki ends up in season 2, and also, okay, maybe I'm just arguing that it should be one season, and it has the same story beats and ends up the same. It's just a longer season.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, seasons used to be 22 episodes or something. Just make it that. Maybe that's all I need. But at the very least, I think he should play the Watcher character in the live action as the one who's sitting on the throne with the multiverse strands. And then we come back. Either this is later in Phase 4, and then he's the one who's kind of watching over everything and can be the link. Or something happens in that throne area, and that's what causes the multiversal disruption in Phase 5, Phase 6, whatever.
Okay.
But again, it shouldn't be happening so early. And I'll admit, this should be probably last or even in Phase 5.
Yeah, I mean, just how I see Loki season 1 just kind of being as is, not any changes, just to kind of, since it picks up directly after Endgame, I think it's important to keep it in Phase 4, and just kind of with the Kang reveal at the end of the series, kind of just being like a tease at what's to come in the upcoming phases.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
why I just wanted it to be pretty much as is.
I think the difference that we're feeling, the pull, is that season 1 had the potential to be Loki is in all of these historical moments, like the what was the jumping out of the plane?
DB Cooper.
DB Cooper.
Yep.
They sold us on that in the trailers, and then that wasn't what it was.
No.
I think if they did that, then it could kind of be a throwaway show. It can still be enjoyable, but it doesn't affect anything. But then they pivoted in season 2 to being the god of the multiverse. I wanted to go the multiverse route because I like that. I think that's a cool moment.
Okay.
But I also like yours where it's just kind of a fun Loki adventure of the
well,
offshoot
it's
Loki
still...
from 2012 that created a branch timeline because he stole the Tesseract in Endgame.
Yeah. It's still the same as the original series was.
Sure. I guess we don't know where this would go, but
Yeah, I mean, that can really... I mean, I don't think I'd put it first, but besides that, I would say it can go anywhere.
Actually, I do like putting it later.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be immediately after Endgame to have payoff because they don't really care about that.
No.
I would say it can be closer to the end of Phase 4, Season 1, as is. Gallivanting through time, as we saw. And then in Phase 5, when we start introducing the multiverse, I think that then we do Season 2.
Okay.
Do his multiverse storyline where he's time traveling / the god of the multiverse, as I've said.
So just if we're doing 2 movies and 2 shows per year.
Oh, you're numbering them by year?
Yeah, with 2021 so far.
So we have a 2020.
We have 2. Yeah, still kind of.
Because No Way Home.
Accounting for.
Far From Home came out and Far From Home was 2019.
Yeah.
Mine.
July 6th?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
How do you know that?
I don't know. My brain.
I like the date July 6th.
My brain retains dumb information. Wait, that's your anniversary, isn't it? Wow, you were born on the day Endgame releases.
Yeah.
And now your wedding anniversary is when Far From Home is. That's funny to me, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Moving along swiftly.
So we still technically need 1 series for 2021.
I think I have it.
What is it?
Eternals.
You're keeping Eternals?
Eternals should have been a show at the very least.
It doesn't...
You're right, it doesn't add anything.
It's not good.
But it leans into the Black Knight and possibly connecting him to Blade or Moon Knight as the Midnight Suns.
At some point, maybe. But again, I feel like that's still just kind of...
Okay. I understand. I do think that the Midnight Suns should be a secondary focus.
Yeah.
Outside of the Avengers, outside of the Skrulls. It's just kind of a fun gallivanting storyline.
Okay.
So maybe not 2021. If you need another show for 2021, Miss Marvel, setting up more Skrulls, more of the storyline from Captain Marvel, having her start her powers and also start getting tied in, which again, it didn't happen in the show, but more of the Skrulls having a foundation. Maybe Captain Marvel does more mentoring with Kamala, and then that is leading more into Secret Invasion.
Okay.
Because have we had a true Skrull? Like, obviously we've revealed that some people are Skrulls, but have we established that there is a bigger threat coming that is Secret Invasion? Because that could be Miss Marvel.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Even though I wasn't... Miss Marvel was also kind of on the cutting room floor for me at first, but I like that.
Yeah, I think if it's rewritten, it can be a key piece in the Secret Invasion story.
So we want Captain Marvel to play a mentor role in the show.
Yeah.
And then kind of be more direct about the Skrull
I think so.
invade, or it's not even quite an Skrull invasion, you could call it. I mean, even though we're still going to call it Secret Invasion, it's more of a Skrull insurrection.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the
But
Skrulls
that doesn't flow off the
Skrulls are
tongue.
already here.
But that
so,
doesn't flow off the tongue.
Yeah. Skrull invasion threat is revealed. I'll write that.
I mean, I think that that's the storyline. It doesn't matter if it's an invasion like the Chitauri were in the first Avengers movie. I think it's always been the secret. this underground organization of who's who and whatnot. So. Eternals can be on the back burner in case we need another show.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't really set up anything, but it could. I mean, Black Knight we've heard nothing about him. Again, Blade even showed up in the post-credit scene, and Blade's been cut. Moon Knight has been forgotten about. I'll get to Moon Knight in a sec.
Hey, Blade hasn't been cut. It's been indefinitely postponed. There's a difference.
Yeah, sure. Keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, I don't really care about it anyway, but it could be good, but who knows. So what are we kicking off 2022 with?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
But...
You want a Spider-Man? Oh, okay.
But... What we've been saying about Spider-Man 4...
Yeah?
Do that for
What
Spider-Man
do you
3.
do now?
I had thoughts on what I would have changed about No Way Home. Like actually developing the Sinister Six, including Venom and all that. But if we're not going the multiverse route, let's have it be down-to-earth Spider-Man again. It doesn't need...
See, with Far From Home releasing when it did, though, I was kind of just going to wait for No Way Home until we have that next Spider-Man movie.
Okay, what if we... maybe that would be too close to home. I was going to say...
Spider-Man too close to home?
I was going to say do something with Venom because of what Venom 2 set up.
Yeah.
But then you just be copying Raimi's third movie.
Yeah.
But then it wouldn't be... Oh no, I guess he did fight Venom. Maybe it wouldn't be like the whole Peter getting the symbiote and having the black suit or anything. It would just be Venom versus Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that would have been fun. We don't need Spider-Man though, if you think.
Okay. I think I want him included in Secret Invasion.
I had him too.
But I don't know if he needs a movie.
Well, then you'd have to be going back and changing No Way Home, Far From Home.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
You'd be
that's a
changing
fair point.
Far From Home ending.
Oh, he is... yeah, that's a fair point.
But you could do that.
Yeah, I don't know where...
It just is a direct tie-in, and if you suddenly
Yeah,
jump
and
to an Avengers movie, I think Spider-Man has a place.
What we do...
A vastly different storyline.
Yeah, what we do with Spider-Man now, though, is going to completely change what happens in No Way Home. With the whole identity reveal and everything.
It's true, because that is the point of the end of Far From Home. I don't think...
That's why the spell happens, and that's why the multiverse happens. And
I think you can rewrite that. I think you can have a Sinister Six movie in the multiverse without needing to do a spell that went wrong.
Okay.
I probably would do that, but it'd be a different spell.
Yeah.
And still have some sort of lead into it. But that's a Phase 5 problem.
Okay.
I think you have Spider-Man start off 2022 and have it be a down-to-earth, maybe even some Daredevil work. Kind of what your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man has been, with some Daredevil cameo, some Norman Osborn setup. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're probably, if we get to Phase 5, we're going to cut your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It just seems like such a shoe-in. Even if people like it, I'm like, that should have just been Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I mean, it kind of just feels like, what DC's going to be doing with, like, Elseworlds projects, which isn't bad, but...
Yeah.
So we're doing a Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man movie, New York themed, centered.
And who's the villain?
Fisk.
Well, I guess the more important question is, where are we going from the end of Far From Home?
I think because we're pretending we're in 2019, we reshoot the end of Far From Home.
Why are we... I don't think we can do that. Hey, we said we're not fixing Phase 3. That was the rule we established at the beginning.
Fine. Why didn't they end Phase 3 with Endgame? Like, that seems so odd to just
With
be
Far
like,
From Home, you mean?
Yeah. No, why didn't they end with
Oh,
Endgame?
yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, I feel like it was kind of meant to be like an epilogue.
Yeah.
Far From Home was. I feel like they could have kicked off Phase 4 if they didn't know.
What if it's
What if?
What if? That's the name of the show that they haven't actually done fun things with. They just like, what if Darcy and Howard had a baby?
Because that's not weird.
I think that it should be more of what we saw at the beginning of No Way Home, of dealing with being a celebrity
Yeah.
a recognizable face, and Spider-Man at the same time. And there can be other heroes who help him with that. I don't know who.
I mean, he's also like framed for murder right now too.
Oh, that too. I forgot. I forgot it was more than just. Yeah, I think dodging the law while still trying to do good. Developing more on what we saw in No Way Home before he goes to Doctor Strange. Like with going to school, kind of being a celebrity, but a hated celebrity. Mm-hmm. Similar to how we've seen Fisk in Born Again have two polar opposite sides of support. Both, this guy is great, I love Peter for being a vigilante who has good morals, versus, he killed somebody, right? Mm-hmm. Even though that's not true, that's what they're saying. So, that could be something.
Honestly, though, Too Close to Home might be a good title for it. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Just with how, with people like knowing who he is and like who like his family and friends are. I mean,
what if they're in the middle of the movie or at the beginning and then he deals with it in the middle of the movie? He can't live in New York anymore.
This could be the movie. You know what the original plan for No Way Home was with Craven?
Oh, really?
Yeah, being kind of like a hired gun to kill.
That would be fun. But I was going to say that he can move out into Dipstick Nowheresville next to Josh. and
Josh and Peter just hanging out.
But then he's dealing with different types of crime.
Yeah.
And not really being able to swing. Like, the reason he's in New York is so he can swing. Mm-hmm. And I think of that scene where in Homecoming where he's in the in the golf course and he's just like, oh man, gotta run. I think there could be more of that. But then he ends up back in New York, I think. And then that could be then when he gets back to New York, we tease Fisk, who is tying in at that point. Whenever that happens, we're tying into Born Again, where he's anti-vigilante force, and he thinks that Peter Parker specifically should pay for his crimes, and then that leads into, can you just maybe make him forget? Yeah. Then that Spider-Man 4 is what we saw with No Way Home.
Okay. Here's a thought, though. But if Fisk is going to be mayor already in this movie, is that what you're assuming? Because maybe we end...
Maybe that's what he's running on.
Okay, because I was saying maybe we end 2021 with Hawkeye then instead of Miss Marvel to kind of set him up better.
It's true. Where did I have... I had Hawkeye later.
Okay.
Because I probably didn't want Kate in the Avengers.
That's a fair point, but...
Yeah, I did say... Well, I wanted Spider-Man to show up at the end because that was always wishful thinking of mine that he would show up at the... in the exact same scene that they ended No Way Home with. But I said, build up Kingpin, tie it into Daredevil Season 3, which is like, how did he get out of jail? How is he running for mayor and such? Mm-hmm. Which you can do. I'm not saying that we're going to figure that out, but you can do that. And keep Echo out of it is what I said. And then the storyline of Hawkeye would be have Clint deal with how the public views the Avengers. So that is, I think Hawkeye stays.
Stays later?
I don't know where. I think it could go earlier.
Okay. What was I about to say? I think we also have to we can't have Spider-Man in any shows. I think that's an important rule because, I mean, they can't do that anyway. So so did we want to bump Hawkeye to 2021 instead? Or did we want to
instead of
Miss Marvel? Or do we... Maybe it is important to hit on that Skrull invasion then early on.
I think we need Skrull invasion earlier.
Okay.
Maybe Spider-Man is pushed a little further.
And we can always just put Hawkeye before. I mean, every year doesn't have to start with a movie. Does it?
Not necessarily.
I mean, when you think about it, too, it's like, I mean, Spider-Man would be more of like a... It wouldn't be at the beginning. Spider-Man, I don't think Spider-Man movies ever come out at like the beginning of the year.
No.
No. So should we throw Hawkeye at the beginning of 2022 then, do you think?
I think we're getting caught up on the less important things of scheduling. And I don't really care.
Yeah.
It does matter what order, but the 2 and 2 per year just seem arbitrary to me.
Okay.
And they'll happen. They'll happen in the order they need to happen. And that's part of going slower with these stories instead of quantity over quality, is to make sure that the order is correct. The chronologically released, I guess. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Do we need to be working on 2 and 2 and?
No, we don't have to focus on that too much. I mean, I'll try and like figure that out as we go.
Sure.
But do we want Hawkeye before Spider-Man though? Or do we kind of want to?
Yeah, let's do Hawkeye before Spider-Man, for the sake of Kingpin, and I'd have to let go of the Spider-Man showing up at the end.
Yeah.
Because No Way Home hasn't happened, but I still think that should have happened.
I think, you know, with Spider-Man appearing in a show, it's just kind of a whole like legal battle too behind the scenes. So that's why it hasn't happened. Mm-hmm. So I think we have to play under that same rule.
Yeah.
So Kingpin is throughout the whole show. Clint sees the public's reception of the Avengers. Mm-hmm. Kate Bishop introduction. Explain how Fisk is out of jail and running for mayor. And I think that's all that project has to accomplish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Echo will not be a part of anything, if that.
I mean, I don't think the character's the issue with Echo.
I think because they wanted her to be a bigger deal than she was. She could still be she could still be his underling.
Yeah.
And leading the Tracksuit Mafia. Mm-hmm. But I think with her being such a mentee role and getting her own show and especially causing problems for like what I've said before about him getting shot in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're just laughing it off in Born Again. It's just...
I'm going to add, too, that Fisk is not superhuman.
Yeah.
Make that important
Superhuman, yes.
He's not ripping off any car doors.
Oh, that's the big one. Yeah, I forgot about that he just ripped off a car door.
Because it's pretty obvious that was meant to be a rebooted Kingpin in Hawkeye, just still played
before
by
they decided to
yeah.
continue Born Again as the Netflix show continuation.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But again, if you're going to reboot him, use a different actor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to stay on this train no matter how long it takes to get that point into... Yeah. Okay.
So now we have Spider-Man.
Did we put Miss Marvel earlier? Yeah, we talked about Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay. The only one I had before Secret Invasion was Moon Knight, so we'll still shift stuff around.
You're keeping Moon Knight?
You love Moon Knight.
I do, but it is just kind of dead weight.
I'm focusing on getting some Midnight Suns action.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're doing there, but...
That's why I wanted Eternals and Moon Knight and Blade.
I kind of think some of that could be pushed into Phase 5.
I think that works.
Okay.
I think I'll deal with that. Like, they're not canceled, but they're delayed.
Yeah.
Not even delayed, rescheduled.
Yeah, just reschedule.
Yeah.
I think, just kind of with what I think Phase 4 especially needs to be concise and just flows well.
Yeah. What needs to happen before Secret Invasion then?
I think we need the Black Panther sequel.
Okay. I had that at the end. I don't know why.
You had that after Secret Invasion?
Well, obviously he can't show up in Secret Invasion. Again, I'm fine with putting things in different areas. I had recasting T'Challa. I know.
I just stared at the camera.
Chadwick Boseman is an amazing actor, and it's sad that we lost him. I think you need more true Black Panther, or follow his son. Maybe develop a son storyline.
I think we keep Shuri.
Okay. Can we fast track the Shuri storyline instead of having a whole movie about missing the old... I didn't like the Namor thing.
You didn't like the Namor storyline?
Sorry, I guess I shouldn't say that. I think that they mourn for too long.
Okay.
I think it should just be, he passed away. It's sad. Shuri is Black Panther now. Mm-hmm. She's next of line. Maybe even developing, like she's maybe working with his son to become the next Black Panther. Or do you not like the son part?
I don't really like the son part.
Okay.
I don't know.
So then we just have Shuri be Black Panther. Just
yeah, that's yeah.
Full force.
Maybe we can.
Beginning / maybe not immediately beginning. You have to mourn a little bit, and I think the beginning of the movie was the best. But just don't wait until the 2-hour mark to have her don the costume.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. That's my thought.
Okay.
Does that need to set up any more Secret Invasion stuff? Or just
that's where
establishing that T'Challa is past?
We could do an Everett Ross Skrull reveal there.
Yeah.
Because he does become a Skrull in
That's right.
the main line too.
Yeah, I think that works. I had a rewrite for She-Hulk, and that could go before Secret Invasion as well.
We're keeping She-Hulk?
Massively rewritten.
Well, yeah, I know. I understand that much, but would you... Are we setting her up for the Avengers?
No.
Okay.
So then that's probably why I had it after. With this new sub-storyline of Kingpin and Daredevil in New York with Spider-Man, this can play into that a lot, I think.
Well, maybe we wait for the... Where did we talk about repealing the Sokovia Accords?
That was the first movie. That was
Captain America. Okay. Because I'm almost thinking maybe we do that here. Maybe that does make sense. Maybe that should be saved in Captain America. Or maybe it could still be being talked about and deliberated in court now.
No, because the only time it came up was because he mentioned it. It didn't need to be...
I'm just saying now if we're like massively rewriting She-Hulk, doing our own creative overhaul of She-Hulk, I think an arc about the Sokovia Accords would be interesting. But
yes. So you think that it should have an active process instead of referring to it?
Yeah. Wait, so what
Captain America introduces the idea of like, hey, we can't really be doing this because of the Sokovia Accords, but let's talk about what process we can do, because we all know that government efficiency is very, I don't know what joke to make. It's shooting to be high, but it's always slow. Like it's always getting any law passed or repealed, such as the Sokovia Accords, is something that would take time. So it makes sense that you bring it up in the Captain America movie. And it's a thread that you can trace throughout different movies.
And here's the thing. There we go.
I knew.
I want to throw that in somewhere. So.
There you go.
What was the heck? I don't know.
You just were so focused on that.
Yeah, I wanted to throw that in somewhere. I didn't know. All right. So I would say then, are we doing She-Hulk after Black Panther then? Or
Sure.
Okay. Let's see,
and maybe you write her into not appearing in Skrull Invasion, or I'm assuming that if we're writing this story, we would write her a lot more compelling and not as whiny and just more pleasant to be around.
Yeah.
I did have Hulk as an Avenger member, so I don't know if having two at the same time works.
That's a good point.
So
should we maybe wait on She-Hulk then till Phase 5, or do you think we have to do that here?
Not Phase 5. I think we can have her after the Skrull Invasion. I just feel like that's...
I think... Wait, how many
if we're building up to Secret Invasion, I think that's a distraction.
She-Hulk is?
Because it's such a down-to-earth story of what's the law and the on-the-street type of fights.
I think we should keep... If we're doing anything after Secret Invasion, I think we should just have one project after Secret Invasion.
Sure.
Because that's how most phases flow.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I cut Thor 4.
Yeah, and I would cut Thor 4 as well.
We moved Hawkeye, we moved Black Panther, and then I only had She-Hulk. So maybe She-Hulk does go after.
Okay.
Also, I put this at the very end. What if I Am Groot, Werewolf by Night, and Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special? They can... I don't care about those. They add nothing, so if they exist or don't exist, I don't care.
Holiday Special is the only one that I might keep somewhere. I guess just to have the Guardians in here somewhere.
Sure. Just to have, check that box.
Just like, hey.
And the reveal, even if it got canceled, the reveal of Mantis as Peter's sister could be Guardians 3 content, I think.
Honestly, She-Hulk after Avengers Secret Invasion could be interesting too, just with the whole legal aspect.
This whole fight breaks out, and then they have to focus on we're pretending it's a well-written legal drama of like, what are we doing? What the heck is going on?
I could almost say it could still be a legal comedy too, just written well.
Written well.
Written without haters in mind.
Yes. Yes.
Because if you write your show with haters in mind, your show's going to have haters.
Imagine.
So.
Okay.
But I'm saying too, She-Hulk can deal with like the legal ramifications of people getting replaced by aliens.
Yeah.
And all that. So I think that.
Yep. Okay, let's talk about the big one, the Secret Invasion.
Okay, who's our roster?
I have Captain America Sam.
Yep.
Falcon, Joaquin Torres.
We have Falcon on the team. Okay.
He could go. Shang-Chi, White Wolf, Bucky.
Okay.
Who is?
Do you want to call him White Wolf?
He needs to be consistent. He's been White Wolf for like a line in Infinity War.
Yeah.
He's been obviously Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. People say you can't call him Bucky. Only Steve can call him Bucky. And just have him have one single. He's either going to be Bucky.
Yeah, I think it's important that he's not Winter Soldier anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that can be part of our Captain America movie.
Yeah, for sure. I can cut Spider-Man. Do you want Spider-Man in there? Where do we leave him? In the third Spider-Man movie that we rewrote. I said he moved back to New York and Kingpin was going to enact his, or at least running on the anti-vigilante task force.
But with the Skrull invasion happening, I think it's kind of more important than what he's dealing with.
So he goes off to fight the Skrulls.
Yeah.
Kingpin's still doing his own thing, and then he comes back in Spider-Man 4 and he's dealing with being outed.
Yeah, and I think,
Okay.
So we throw Spider-Man on the team as well.
Sure. I have Captain Marvel with Kamala only making a cameo.
Okay.
Because again, if you're going to have confidence in Captain Marvel, have confidence in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Don't shun her to a team-up movie after two other characters got set up with their own shows before you give her a sequel.
Yep.
The other five...
How many are we having like a 10-member team here?
Yeah. We can cut it down.
Okay.
I'm just telling you who I wrote. Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Ant-Man, and I had Thor ? Because we really don't know what happened to Thor.
Okay, I would say probably no Moon Knight.
Okay, because what did we do with Moon Knight? I forget.
I think we delayed him.
Oh, we delayed it. Yep. Okay, no Moon Knight.
I think Doctor Strange being the
if we're gonna have
Sorcerer Supreme.
If we're gonna have Wong be a Skrull, we need some sort of connection to the Sorcerer.
We do need, yeah. So I guess we can have him. Do you have Rhodey on the team?
I don't. But I did say he's a Skrull, so I don't know why I didn't do that.
Oh, we didn't even set that up at all for Rhodey being a Skrull. I don't know where we would have set that up. But...
We could cut Falcon because I wrote leave Young Avengers for its own movie, and he
You think he'd be a Young Avenger?
I guess he's like 30 or
He's
something.
older, but maybe. Or we could have the post-credit scene for the first Captain America movie, a meeting between Rhodey and Sharon Carter, and reveal them both as Skrulls.
Sure. What are we gonna do with Thor?
We're gonna say he's off-world.
Okay, Thor's off-world.
That would be my...
Which we did say that or they said it in Far From Home.
Yeah.
Thor's off-world, or maybe Captain Marvel's off-world. I forget.
And I think maybe in Phase 5, we could do like an Asgardians of the Galaxy movie before we do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But
Interesting.
those are just my thoughts. But
Sure. I think Hulk stays because then he can set up She-Hulk with his connection to his cousin. Ant-Man, give or take, I don't know. Depends on where we assume Quantumania is going to go. If we do Quantumania as Quantumania.
yeah. Well, if Ant-Man's in it, I feel like Wasp has to come with him.
You just nix him for this Avengers team? Or is he going to get
where's-
pissy that he wasn't included?
Where's she at?
After Endgame, they just living life, and Cassie is building a time travel, not time travel, a microversal machine in their basement for funsies.
Oh.
That's basically where they pick up in Quantumania. He's also writing a book, so he could be an influencer or something. I don't know. Okay.
It is a stuffed movie already. We have a long lineup of Avengers, and I don't want to ignore him per se.
Yeah. He could be like the celebrity cameo in Disney shows where he kind of shows up in the third act and everyone's like, Scott, hey! And he just helps out. He doesn't need to be a part of it.
It would
It's
be
not a part of the Avengers. He's just there in the movie.
with the repertoire that Sam Wilson and Scott Lang have. It would be kind of funny if he didn't call him in.
Yeah.
And then later in Phase 5, they're even in like Quantumania or whatever they're gonna call that movie. He's got a whole thing about not being asked to be part of the new Avengers. So
Yeah.
I think we just ignore him for now.
Okay.
That's
I
my
was
thought.
thinking-
Do you agree? Or?
I think so.
Okay.
I was thinking about Bucky being in. If we're gonna end up with him still running for office,
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a bridge between the Sokovia Accords, or he goes off of being a hero for the sake of his public image, and then he wouldn't be a part of the Avengers.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of pros and cons to each of these characters, and I'm thinking like if Sam and Joaquin are both winged heroes, that might be a lot.
Yeah.
I did feel like it was a lot in the movie, even if they teamed up well. It just they both do the same thing, and Cap has a shield. Don't know.
So maybe we cut Falcon from the team for now.
I think so. I still think that he could be a part of the Young
Yeah.
Avengers. Maybe.
And he could be
you
part-
just cast a younger actor
Yeah, he can be part of this movie
because
too, in
because
some role,
the first
but-
Captain America movie where he's introduced is his first appearance. Just
Okay.
cast a younger actor, then and then he can be a part of the Young Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then we have the lineup being Captain America, Sam, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man. I forgot.
Yep.
Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Hulk. Did we say
War Machine.
War Machine? I don't know why I'm changing.
Well,
mine.
he wouldn't exactly
Did
be a member. He can be a member because then there could be a
There has to be somebody on the
scroll
team.
reveal who is
Yeah.
who is a scroll. So
Did we say what did we decide about Bucky? Did I say that we were gonna pull him off just for the sake of his public image?
Mhm.
Does that make sense for the story, or should he stay? Maybe at the end,
yeah,
he's like, you know what? I've always been wanting to run for senator.
yeah, we
I'm
can
gonna,
do that
I'm
there.
gonna not be on the team anymore. So for
let's
the
see, we
movie,
have
he
1,
is.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 members.
Yeah.
And we
Which
call-
Captain Marvel isn't. She has the line that's like, "There's a lot more worlds that need help." So maybe she's always been an honorary member
yeah,
because the Avengers are world based, or Earth based.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then at least for story, I mean, we both agree that Secret Invasion is the team up movie instead of what it was. I'm thinking about. I'm comparing the two. What we got, and
Yeah.
what we want. Does it even? I wrote. Does it even need to be said that it flubbed so hard? That's not what the Secret Invasion storyline is at all. It shouldn't. It should have been a movie. It should have been a team up. Whatever. The whole point of it is that some people are Skrulls. What happened to the real ones, and why are the Skrulls turning on Fury, and so on. I think that your idea of that being a sect of Skrulls that turned is good, because then Captain Marvel is still like, we help these guys. We help them find a home and such. But then she comes to the knowledge that they're rebels. So. And then who's the Skrull? Rhodey and Hill, and then you had said
Hill's
Carter.
gonna be a scroll.
I don't know why I wrote that. I think that was that in the show?
She dies in the first episode.
Oh, that's right. She gets shot. I don't know why.
Wow.
Maybe I meant Carter. But then I have a follow up that I think can be interesting, and we do got to wrap this up because I think we're getting close. Did you have
a big surprise reveal that you were gonna give me?
Well, what do you think should happen in the story, besides what I've listed? Should anyone die?
I haven't thought about the story of this one too much.
Okay.
I've just kind of viewed this as a way to establish the Avengers, but
Oh, that's right, because we was looking at, like, an Age of Ultron impact,
yeah,
Avengers 1 team-up,
yeah,
not bloated with too many people. That's why we were trying to cut some people. My setup, which, again, doesn't say anything to the story, but I think at the end, or at least the way you leave it and then is picked up maybe in She-Hulk, is that people are scared of who's truly human and who's not. And that leads into some way to introduce mutants. Don't know how, but that leads into this fear of mutants in this world, because mutants are human with mutations. Skrulls are not human, but they look human, so people don't. That line gets blurred for civilians, And that's, I think, that all leads together.
Okay.
With the end of Secret Invasion and getting X-Men into the MCU soon.
What would be the big...
Skybeam.
No.
We need a Skybeam.
No, I don't need Skybeam.
Sorry. What do we need?
I mean, there's a couple questions. What would the Skrulls' motivations be?
World domination. Sorry,
okay.
I can't just be asking or answering with the basic.
I mean, that makes
answers.
sense enough, I guess.
Okay. The sect that broke off are ones who think that the entire Earth should be theirs.
So what would that mean?
World domination.
Yeah.
The Skrulls that are still good don't believe that, and they're just taking a back seat because they know that if they're outed as Skrulls, they'll just be grouped into the rebels. But I think the rebels think that Earth should be theirs, and the roles swapped where the humans should find their own Earth as well. Which I think that could also be like humans are the weaker galactic citizen, where there's not a lot of places where you can survive.
Wait,
and again, all of the humans ended up on the Jupiter's moon with the Endgame fight, and they were fine. So maybe that's not quite as pivotal to be like, oh, there's nowhere you can go, like we have it here.
Should we have Hawkeye on the team?
He was left out of Infinity War.
He was back in Endgame. But
I don't know. Having him be in another... Oh, no. Sorry. We put him earlier, didn't we?
yeah.
I think what I had thought was that Hawkeye stops being Hawkeye. He's just Clint. Being a family man like he's always wanted. And Kate is saved for the Young Avengers movie in Phase 5. So he's still passing on the role.
Yeah.
And he's getting his wish of being a family man. And Hawkeye still exists through Kate.
Okay.
Is that fair? I know he only gets 2 Avengers movies then. I guess Endgame counts too, but I don't know.
And we're saving Kate Bishop for Young Avengers?
Yep. Yeah, like Shang-Chi would be a normal Avenger and not a... Like, he's new, but he's not a young Avenger. And yeah, this is a different lineup than what the Young Avengers would be when we probably will rewrite Phase 5 to include that team up. And then the ultimate team up, whether it's Doomsday or Kang Dynasty, we'll have all of them come together.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how we end Phase 5 when you do that one.
Yeah.
Well, Phase 5 isn't open either.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
We don't even know how it's going to end per se.
I think that'll be our fall MCU episode.
Yeah.
After we do our State of the MCU this summer, and then we'll do a rewrite of Phase 5 after Fantastic Four.
That starts Phase 6.
Never mind. We'll still do it in the fall.
What ends Phase 5?
The Fantastic Four, actually. Did you know that?
What? The Fantastic
Yeah.
Four First Steps?
That's something I've been noticing is that people just call it Fantastic Four First Steps. It's not. I'm not going to grammar police them, but
yeah.
it's just funny that The Fantastic Four is the full name. Interesting.
It's like The Batman. The Suicide Squad.
Wait,
The
is...
Fantastic Four.
What's the 2005 one called?
I think just Fantastic
That one
Four.
is called it's called Fantastic Four. I never caught that.
Wow.
They didn't just add First Steps. They did the Suicide Squad thing where
They did
it's
the.
Anyways, we need to wrap this up. I think we're at a good spot.
Fantastic Four only has 27% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Man, I like that movie.
That's just a better movie than that.
Yeah. Are we done with Phase 4? Do you want to give us a recap?
I think
Just read
so.
through it as fast as you can. We're
All right,
way
so
over time.
we have Captain America, working title Battle of the Shield.
You really like that one, don't you?
That title? I kind of do. I think it's kind of cheesy, so maybe not, but what do you think?
I like it.
What?
I like it.
Okay. Falcon Winter Soldier and Brave New World combined together. Serving society's the villain. What else was going to happen? Sets Sam up as Captain America, and then he's Captain America at the end of the movie. Serving society's the villain. Did I already say that?
Yep.
Right there. Terrorist organization. John Walker's in there. And everything similar to the show happens with him there. Thaddeus Ross is president. He tells Sam at the end of the movie, if you're going to be Captain America, you have to set up the Avengers. And then he also has a Red Hulk set up at the end of the movie. That could probably be a mid-credit scene there. And then the post-credit scene, we have Sharon Carter meeting with James Rhodey, and they're both revealed as Skrulls. That's the end of that one. WandaVision, basically the same, except Monica doesn't become a superhero just because of too many cooks in the kitchen. Shang-Chi, basically the same movie. Cutting Trevor, I guess. Mid-credit scene, we reveal Wong is a Skrull. In the post-credit scene, Sam recruits Shang-Chi for the Avengers. In Miss Marvel, it plays more of like a Captain Marvel mentoring Miss Marvel show. So that's basically just like the Green Lantern show coming out, except with...
But Marvel did it first in this alternate universe that we made.
So you could almost call that one the Marvels. But I think we might still call that Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
2022. Well, that was all the 2020 releases. I kind of did this. But to kick off 2022, we were doing the Hawkeye show. Kingpin's villain throughout the whole show. We see cleansing the public reception of the Avengers post-Endgame. Introduce Kate Bishop. We explain how Fisk is out of jail post-Daredevil Season 3 and how he's now running for mayor. I don't know how we're explaining that, but that's getting explained. We're going to cut Echo, and Fisk is not a superhuman ripping off car doors. Then we have Spider-Man Too Close to Home. I like that title, even though I just kind of said it.
I was gonna say, besides the fact that you said it sounds like Spider-Man 2, yeah, I like it.
Kind of dealing with him post Far From Home, with the identity reveal, still trying to do what's good while also dodging the law. We have Kraven the Hunter, possibly hired by Fisk, maybe, to hunt down Spider-Man as a villain. And I think that was, and then at the end he goes back to New York after running away for a while, just kind of, I think, really taking on that responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yep.
And then to end 2022, we have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Maybe Shuri becomes Black Panther sooner. And then we have an Everett Ross Crow reveal as a post-credit scene. Oh, I forgot to say, too, that in Miss Marvel, we're really hammering on the Skrull invasion happening there. Mm-hmm. And then, probably in the summer of 2023, I'd assume we'd have Avengers Secret Invasion. We have Sharon Carter as a Skrull, Wong as a Skrull, Everett Ross as a Skrull, James Rhodey as a Skrull. And the main focus of the main motivation of the evil Skrulls is to take over the world as their own after their planet was destroyed, I think is what happened. Mm-hmm. And the good Skrulls are scared to come out because they think they'll just be received as a threat like the rest of the Skrulls are. And the team of Avengers for this movie is Captain America, Sam Wilson, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, War Machine, Hulk, and White Wolf. We do only have one woman on the team when there's like a total of 10 of them. But
I'm sorry, I guess.
I don't know. That just seems
Sorry,
like a weird
women.
Seems like a weird balance to me. But
Who else do we have?
I mean, we could do Kate Bishop now, but maybe we should save it for Young Avengers.
Again, you add one, you got to take another away. I think regardless of sexism, I think all of these characters play a good role.
Okay.
In Secret Invasion storyline.
Mm-hmm. We didn't talk about it, but I think we could have. Oh, how did I miss saying Loki? Where did we have Loki?
Loki, we were just gonna. Oh yeah, we did.
Oh, we were saying Loki was going to be a 2023 as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was gonna be later. Still season 1 as is.
Maybe before Secret Invasion.
Sure.
Just so we don't have 2 projects after.
For fun.
All right, so then we're starting 2023 with Loki, as is. Mm-hmm. Then Secret Invasion, everything I just said. Possibly a post-credit scene there, too, about multiverse stuff happening.
Sure.
Don't know exactly how that would happen with what characters, but... Mm-hmm. And then we have She-Hulk. Complete creative overhaul. Completely new show.
Basically, the only same things is that Banner mentors her.
Yeah.
And I don't mind Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah.
And Daredevil.
Yeah, we can keep Matt Murdock to have some more. I'd give him a bigger role in the show as well.
For sure.
I would say different arcs. Still league comedy, exploring different legal ramification of events in the MCU. The most pressing being the Secret Invasion. Where we can dig more into the Sokovia Accords as well. Yeah, and that's about it.
You happy with that?
I would say I'm happy with that.
It's a compromise between the two of us.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's good.
Sweet.
And like I said, the other 4 things that I listed don't really matter. They're side projects. They can happen if they want. But
Yeah. Probably holiday special in there somewhere. I don't think we need. I mean, I guess Werewolf by Night, if we're doing Midnight Suns, that can be Phase 5.
Yeah.
So we can keep Eternals, Moon Knight, and Werewolf all in Phase 5 to kind of set up that Midnight Suns and set up Young Avengers.
yeah.
Wow, Phase 5 is going to be weird.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see
think
how we handle that.
Yeah. It'll be fun though.
I feel like this is what we needed for Phase 4, but
Now we've dug ourselves
with
into a
the
hole.
projects we delayed, it's going to be interesting to.
I am upset about one thing,
What are you upset about?
and it's that I didn't make a "it's rewind time" joke at the beginning like I wanted to. Then I could insert "it's rewind time,"
It's rewind time.
or what did he say? Ah ha ha!
Yeah.
It's rewind time.
It's rewind time.
Whatever Will Smith said. Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Whatever. He didn't know what he was doing. They're like, hey, YouTube needs you to make a video.
Keep my
Here's your-
wife's. Wait, no. Never mind.
No, sorry. He's just a funny man.
He's funny, man.
Anyways, I like it. Let's cut it
Sweet.
there so I can actually get this 2-hour episode edited.
Oh, man. We'll see how long this episode actually is.
It's going to be
probably
about 2
like-
hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's not much that I would cut.
Yeah.
It was all
It was
very-
good conversations, though. So.
Good conversations. We just had a lot at the beginning. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for listening or watching. Make sure to follow us on all the socials. Buy some merch. Go listen to our
wait, no,
Avengers
that's
Are
not
Butterflies episode. Buy their merch.
Yeah, buy their merch.
At sundaycool.com. Wish we could be sponsored, but maybe not.
Powered.
Powered
in.
in by
I forgot what to say.
true fans, am I right?
Yeah. Sorry, sorry Andy and
Yeah,
Josh.
share this with a friend, and until next week, know that you're loved. God bless.
Thanks for watching, Mom.
Yeah.